So today I'm going to begin with a quote from Chief Tecumseh, a Shawnee warrior who in the late 1700s became chief of his tribe in battle and became a leader who promoted intertribal unity, encouraging different tribes to join together in unity despite perceived differences, to retain and protect their culture and their freedom, just as we ask this community to come together in unity. The quote is, "Do not allow others to make your path for you. It is your road and your road alone. Others may walk it with you, but no one can walk it for you. Accept yourself and your actions. Own your thoughts. Speak up when wrong and apologize. Know your path at all times. To do this, you must know yourself inside and out. Accept your gifts as well as your shortcomings and grow each day with honesty, integrity, compassion, faith, and brotherhood. I have made myself what I am." If that's not a quote straight out of New Thought philosophy, I don't know what is, isn't it? And Chief Tecumseh said those words in the late 1700s, 100 years before the unity movement. He was trying to create a unity movement among the Native American tribes of America to come together, for he knew that they would be stronger together to keep their culture alive and to keep their freedom. We are spiritual beings in this physical human body. The notion, the idea, the knowing is that each of us holds the divine within us, that we have a spiritual nature that coexists with our humanity. And we have the choice to make ourselves who and what we are every day. It's our choice with each new morning that dawns, each breath that we take, to create, to co-create who and what we are. So let's talk about faith. As we embark on this journey together, let us open our hearts and open our minds to the infinite possibilities that lie within the realm of faith. Please take a deep breath in together. Put your hand on your heart, and in doing so, bring your conscious and your subconscious thought to your heart center and open it up as you remove your hands. And collectively, we are here with open minds and open heart. A few weeks ago, I told you that your track record for surviving bad days is 100%. It is. You're here. You made it through whatever it was you were going through. Even the worst situations, the worst of events that happened to you were necessary, were beneficial for you being right here where you are, right here and right now. No matter how bad it was, it's in the past now, and you learned something. Even if what you learned was that no matter how hard something may be to get through, you will get through it. You're living proof. Here you are. Have faith. We got to have faith. There was a summer that a village was in a drought, a bone-dry drought. It was the third year in succession when there was little to no rain. The crops had disappeared, nothing would grow. The land was a brown swath of dusty, dirty dirt just blowing around in the wind. Everything had that layer of dusty, dirty dirt on it. Trees had lost their leaves in the last year and stood out like silhouettes of cactus on the dusty horizon. There was a stream that skirted the village just a few years ago. Now the riverbed was dry. Where once flowed clean, fresh water from the nearby mountains, there was now a bed of clay, cracked in a checkerboard pattern with gaps as wide as your foot. Desperate for help, the people of the village held a meeting under a big banyan tree that was as old as the village. In the meeting, they determined that they would all come together with the intention to pray for rain. Someone said that there was a person in a nearby village known as a rain dancer, and could we get that person to come and do a rain dance for us? Well, it's going to take him a day to get to the village, so they decided they would have that person come the next day, and they would meet together in the town square to pray and dance for rain. As they all gathered together and were ready to begin, the people formed neat rows for prayer. A child came running down the lane, holding high an open umbrella over his head. Huffing for breath, he stood in the back row, umbrella still open. The villagers could not help but turn around and wonder what was going on. What was this commotion? Some were curious and others were even annoyed. At last, the tribal leader admonished the child. "Why did you bring the umbrella, you foolish child? Don't you see there is no rain, and we have come today to pray for rain? Only a foolish one would stand on a clear, dry day like this with an umbrella open." "Yes," said the child, "I came to pray too. I am certain my prayer will be answered and it will rain. That is why I brought my umbrella." That is faith. That is faith. Out of the mouths of babes come wisdom. That child was affirming what he wanted, what they needed, knowing in all faith that it would be so. That's the way we teach affirmative prayer here in this community. Faith is the conviction in the unseen, the absolute trust in the divine order of the universe, and the unwavering belief in the power of the creative mind. We teach to pray affirmatively, like it's already happened. You don't beg and plead for something. You state what you want, and then you go about your business knowing it's already on its way to you. You change the story around it. And how many of us truly stand in that faith and that knowing when we offer a prayer? Spoken or unspoken, when you offer an affirmative prayer, do you also offer gratitude that it's going to be so, that it is already on its way to you? Do we comport ourselves as if it's already on its way? Or do we go about wringing our hands? "Oh, I hope that happens. Oh, I wish that would happen. Oh, I need that to happen. Oh, I'm desperate for that to happen." Affirmative faith and prayer is a foundational practice for this community. We affirm our connection to the divine and declare our inherent worthiness to receive blessings. We know we are worthy. We say that's what we want. That's what we want to co-create in this life. And we are grateful for the blessing that is already on its way. That's why we say, "And so it is." That's what the word amen means. It is so, or and so it is. Working from our own Christ within, our own spiritual nature, even when we face those challenges and experience those trying times of life, even if we fail to live up to our greatest hopes and expectations ourselves, we got to have faith. We must continue to behold the potential, our own God-given potential, beyond any limitations even of our own understanding. Listening to truth in a receptive state of mind opens the way for receiving the next degree in the divine order, which is faith. Faith is a muscle that goes stronger with practice. In New Thought Spirituality, we cultivate faith through meditation, through prayer, and through visualization. Many say that meditation is listening to God. To that thought, a new thought of practical spirituality, meditation then opens the way to faith. Sitting with an idea, sitting with a thought, with a receptive mind connected to the mind of God within you will open your being to an abiding faith that endures through all tribulations. I never knew that my grandmother was teaching me one of my greatest spiritual tools when I was a little girl and I would be a little too rambunctious. And she would say, "Now, Kimmy, you go in the corner and you're going to sit with that for a while." She was teaching me to be still, to go within, because I was not a still child. I was not. I was always going, always doing, always wanting to be going, always wanting to be doing. But she forced me to be still when I got to be too much. Have you ever heard that? You're too much. Just get still within yourself and honor and accept all that muchiness. For it is you. Be it. You are worthy. By quieting the mind and attuning ourselves to the presence of the divine, we deepen our faith and strengthen our connection to the source of all creation. Be still and know. Be still. As Jesus, the Master Teacher, taught us, the kingdom of God is within you. It truly is within you and within me. When we understand the omnipresence of Spirit, we quickly see how simple and true this beautiful teaching of Jesus is. The kingdom of God is within you. It's within you, and it's your choice to radiate that back out to the world. A leap of faith. A leap of faith is not a plunge into the dark abyss. It is a dive into the light that others cannot yet see. Is your light seen? When we are coming out of the dark, we sometimes think the light is shining upon us. I say the light is shining from within us. Are you allowing that light, your light, to be seen? Let your voice and your words imprint on the cosmos. Imprint them on the universe, whole and holy. Let your voice and your words carry your energy for all to feel, for all to hear, for all to experience. Let your faith shine, your light for all to see. Last week, Reverend Naila sang, "This Little Light of Mine." This little light of mine. We all know that song from childhood. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let your light shine for all to see. And we learn to speak the word, the positive power word that gets results. We speak, we affirm. In order to speak power imprinted on the cosmos, we must have the inner conviction that makes the word effective. That is what gives the word energy. Faith. Faith boosts the spoken word even more than 100 million times. With faith, your voice. With faith, your energy will manifest marvelous miracles in your life. Who needs or wants a marvelous miracle in your life? And you know, I wrote this week, And just before service started, I got a text from Miracle Sandra. Isn't that amazing? We all want miracles in our life. And what a miracle she is to know and see what she's been through. And she is thriving and enjoying life and being love, being there, being love for others. She sends me messages every once in a while, just out of the blue, and I get her little message, and it makes me smile. For I know she is a true miracle in my life and in our community's life. Faith will help us manifest miracles, marvelous miracles in our life. The unconditional love of God shines upon you. You are a divine child of God, and let that light shine from you. Nothing will be impossible for you. Instead of impossible, you will know I'm possible. All is possible. There are infinite possibilities from pure potentiality. Faith will quicken the energy of God in your consciousness, and great and greater things will you accomplish. What the mind can conceive, the body can achieve. That was my mantra back when I was a high jumper training to make the U.S. Olympic team. What the mind can conceive, the body can achieve. If I could visualize it, if my mind could conceive me jumping over a bar taller than me, I knew my body could do it. Visualization works. It works. Who would think a tall, skinny, and naive to the world country girl could accomplish such an impossible feat? I knew it. I did in the very core of my being, in my very soul. I knew it. It was mine to do. I knew it from the first moment I jumped in the air and flung my body over that bar and landed on that foam pit. I knew I am possible. I want to be the best in the world at this, I told my mom. I went home from the first day I did it and learned how to do it. I went home and told my mom all about it, and I said, and I'm going to be the best in the world at this someday. And she just looked at me and smiled. I am possible. Charles Fillmore, one of the founders of the New Thought movement of unity, defines faith as the perceiving power of the mind linked with the power to shape substance, a deep inner knowing that that which is sought is already ours for the taking. Yes. That it's already ours. If we thought it, it's ours. What the mind can conceive, the body can achieve. It's already ours. If we thought it, if we conceived it, it's already ours. We've already achieved it. We just have to go through the motions of doing it. And we have to have faith to do that. I knew it was mine for the taking, even though I knew nothing. I knew nothing about organized sports. I knew nothing about what that world looked like or even was. I was a country girl from the farm. I didn't know anything about being on a team or organized sports. But faith, the mind of God does not require that you be a degreed theologian or a biblical scholar, understanding every intricate nuance of doctrine. Faith does not require that you understand every nuance of God's mind. It is only necessary for you to know that, like flipping the light switch and electricity causes the lights to come on, what you conceive will happen. The energy of source will spring forth from the mind of God within you if you but affirm with your mind that all is possible and affirm, I am possible. We do not give it a second thought, no bit of worry that when we flip the light switch that the light will not come on. We just know it will be so. just like that. And you only need to affirm that all is possible, just like that. And it will spring forth from the mind of God within you and manifest in your life. Just like flipping the light switch. And you know the lights are going to come on. You don't worry. You don't stress. You don't have anxiety over, oh gosh, if I turn this light, if I flip this light switch, maybe they will, maybe they won't. You just know they're going to come on. You don't even give it a thought. So do that. Do that with what you want to create in your life. Flip that switch and know it's going to happen. Because first it was a thought, then a passion, then a knowing that it is possible. The knowing came from the meditation of a quiet mind joining with God's mind and becoming faith. According to your faith, be it done to you. According to your faith, be it done to you. Those are words from the Bible, and they are the exact words also from the Quran. It's all the same. It's all love. Faith is fundamental to our human nature. It is universal. It operates within each of us. Just as fear is fundamental in our human nature, it also operates within each of us. When we choose to feed our fearful thoughts, we make the fear real. We manifest it as a reality in our life, that which we fear. It's only false evidence appearing real. Yet when we focus our energy there, we give power to fear over us. Fear will keep you from your good. Conquer the fear. See the false evidence for what it is. How? How do you see the false evidence for what it is in your life? See the false evidence by aligning with Source. When you pray, when you meditate, when you sit in your God time and connect with the God mind within, you will dispel any anxiety and you will dispel the fear. You will see with clarity. Last week, I did the tithe call. I did the offering call. And I said tithe. Traditionally, a tithe is 10%. Are you tithing your God time? Are you spending 10% of your week in meditation, in prayer, in time to be still? It's not all about giving money. It's about bringing yourself up as a spiritual being, bringing that spirituality into your life every day. In 24 hours, if we're giving 10% of our time as God time, well, that's 2.4 hours. Are we doing that? Are we spending 2.4 hours during our day in God time, in meditation, in thoughtful reflection, in stillness, in quietness? You owe it to yourself. You are worthy to tithe that time to yourself. It's a great beauty of life and a truth of practical spirituality. We choose our reality either knowingly or unknowingly. We choose where we place our faith. We choose when we live in fear. With faith, we hold the power to shift possibilities into realities. Infinite possibilities, divine ideas open the way to infinite possibilities. We come to truth and truly know faith through that direct experience. Just like that country girl I once was, believing she could possibly do this thing she had never before heard of, never before even seen it done, and yet somehow knew it was for her. I tell you that story not to impress you, but to impress upon you that we all have it within us to choose faith and create those infinite possibilities. If that little country girl can, you can. Anyone can. Everyone can. Like the wind on my cheek. I could feel it even though I couldn't see it. I could see its effect in the rustling leaves overhead and the swaying branches, even though I could not see the wind itself. I know it's there. Faith. You don't have to see it to believe it, to know it, to experience it. Faith is the connecting link between God ideas in the mind and the expression of them in the world. Faith goes beyond thinking to knowing what the whole being, knowing the truth of the unseen good. Faith, knowing. It's innate within us when we connect to Source. Faith, it's a mystery of the unseen world, the metaphysical world. As a girl, I had faith to believe in a possibility even when it had never been a part of my life. Yet somehow, I knew deep inside, and I listened to that voice. Before I knew what meditation was, I listened and realized power to make the possible real. Faith. What the mind can conceive, the body can achieve. Faith to see the possibility. Faith to realize the possibility. Faith to make the possible real. We got to have faith. We got to have faith. And in the words of a leader who encouraged and promoted unity among different tribes of people, Chief Tecumseh I began with, I will end. Know your path at all times. To do this, you must know yourself inside and out. Accept your gifts as well as your shortcomings. Own it. Own who you are. And grow each day with honesty, integrity, compassion, faith, and brotherhood. I have made myself what I am. Know that in faith. And so it is. So it is. All right. See, I walk away. Reverend Maria and Reverend Ron aren't here. I know you noticed. They just had a new great-granddaughter. Isn't that exciting? A few months ago, they had a new great-grandson, and now they have a new great-granddaughter, not from the same set of parents, different set of parents. But how wonderful and great is that? So they are home today, and they'll be back with us next Sunday. So it is time for that tithe and offering. So as I mentioned in the message, 10%, it's time, talent, and treasure. 10%.